Hey everybody, this is Bobo the Vulture, and this is Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. Before I go any further though, I'm going to click anywhere to begin. And hey, I've got the disclaimer window, which is a big advancement from where I'd been previously. I had to do a lot of messing around with compatibility with this, because as you can see, it is a game copyright 2003. And I was actually trying to use it on my newest computer, which is not particularly beefy, but it does run Windows 8, which can be a little bit difficult, I guess. But let's continue with normal buttons. And you can see here we have New Game, Load Game, File Editor, Guide, Credits, Quit. I should check. I was about to say I should check the time, but of course I have a clock off camera on the screen. But let's go to the EWR guide. It's a very text-heavy game, as you can see here. This guide refers to EWR version 4.0. It's a wrestling simulator. Adam Ryland wrote it years ago. It's designed to get you the best out of the game. It's pretty complex. It tries to simulate the entire world of North American wrestling. Yeah, it's a pro wrestling management sim. Not like management like your pallbearer, and you have to like carry out an urn to the ring, but like you are in charge of a wrestling federation. You can pick one, or you can go into the data section and create one. Anyhow, we're going to go to the... So that's the game overview. Let's look at the user screen, and you can read all of these things. I've played the game before. It's been a while. It's been a few years since I did, but I believe I remember more or less how it runs. So I'm probably not going to look at these things with huge detail, but I'll scroll through them so you have an opportunity to check it out yourself. Booking sheet. Oh yes, this is for booking shows. And okay, you can have 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, and there are different types of matches. If you have a if you want to continue, like you can basically say what the point of a match is, if it is for a feud or just to put on a good show. Not all matches are available. If you run a family-friendly product, or you have your Fed set up to be family-friendly, you can't like do a first blood match or something like that. Those sorts of things. If you don't have wrestlers that can do a certain kind of match, they might not give it to you. So, checking all of this stuff. Workers. You can see what kinds of workers there are, or you can, just check out things. You can sign workers. It shows you how to sign them. Tells you what all of their different things are. I'll probably go through a lot of this stuff, so if you want to look at these things right now, that's okay. You'll probably have to pause, because of course this is a lot of text. And if you are not really into reading all this, I'll probably explain a lot of this later, basically. Let's just put it that way. Alright. So yeah, cool stuff. Different types of staff. There are medics, ring agents, announcers, trainers, writers, production guys. That's right, pyrotechnics. Man, back in the 2000s and the 90s, like, almost every wrestler had pyro. It's not as common a thing anymore. Which, I feel like the wrestling is still pretty good, and don't miss it as much as you might think. Different promotions. So look at those. Look at that. Look at that. Just going through all this stuff. Feuds, extended rivalries. There are 2 types of feuds. Why do feuds? What are the drawbacks? What makes a good feud? How do you end a feud? TV shows. We'll look into a lot of this stuff. Stables. The editor. This is probably going to be something that I may have to mess with to begin with, because I have a scenario in mind I would like to put together, but I don't know whether it's possible to get it running without doing some things in the editor above and beyond just creating what it is that I want to do. And then there's a FAQ here. You can look at these things, right? Oh yeah, you can import and add pictures. I'm probably not going to do that. I believe there are people that have set up big groups of them, but I pretty much, most of the time when I do these LPs, I like to just go with whatever the defaults are to begin with, and that's cool. Hopefully. Adam Ryland at hotmail.com. Wonder if that's still a going email address. I mean, I still have a Hotmail somewhere. Somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight. So let's go to the file editor, because I basically want to look at the world of promotions. Gonna get into it. You have a bunch here. There is Combat Zone Wrestling. There's Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling. There's East Coast Wrestling. Fédération de Lutte Internationale. Heartland Wrestling. Pro Wrestling Iron. IWA Mid-South. Jersey All Pro. Major League Wrestling. New Era Pro Wrestling. NWA TNA. Which, let's see, yeah, this was, I forget sometimes, but this version of Extreme Warfare Revenge was after the fall of WCW. So NWA TNA is pretty much number 2 in this game world. So yeah, it's a national level. NWA Wildside, Phoenix Championship Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Stampede Wrestling of Calgary, World League Wrestling, WWE, and World Extreme Wrestling, and Extreme Pro Wrestling. What I was thinking I was going to do, though, was start a new Fed. And probably going to call it, let's see. Wait, are there a bunch of spaces at the beginning here? Did I add a bunch of spaces by accident? Apparently I did. What are all these spaces doing here? Vulture Championship Wrestling, which will be VCW. Yeah. VCW. And they're not going to be national. I basically have the idea of what would happen if your old pal Bobo won, like, didn't win the lottery, but got, like, a split of the jackpot or something like that. So, let's say Bobo won $200,000. Okay. Backyard. Anytime you move from one level of fame to another, you start at 50. So, let's say, is it unrealistic to give myself $300,000? I don't know. $200,000. Right now, there are no roster splits or large event announcers. I believe we can go back in and change any of these things. We can change our production values, how much we invest in advertising and merchandising, and what level of risk we go for. So, what I'll probably do now for this is I'll leave it right here, but I'm pretty sure if I start the game with Vulture Championship Wrestling Backyard based in America, all like this. I think this will work, but I may run into some problems. So let's go back and let's go back again, and let's go ahead and start a new game. Our username will be Bobo the Vulture, not Buck. Vulture. Gosh. Difficulty medium. We are going to start with Vulture Championship Wrestling. There are no workers. We have $200,000 in starting money. We are a backyard-sized promotion. We have no staff. Nobody has come in as our owner. No belts. Auto put workers at ideal position. Now we're going to begin the game at this promotion. So let's start. And we'll start using the first save slot. And we'll call it save game 1. Sure, why not? The database for this game will now be created. This could take up to 10 minutes. I could corrupt our data if I press Ctrl-Alt-Delete. Hopefully this means the game won't crash during this, because it's done that several times now. Now, considering this is, I mean, it's not a fancy computer by modern standards, but it probably has more computing power than anything that this game was originally designed to work on, so hopefully this shouldn't take too long. But basically, this first video is going to be, now that I've briefly described the game, not so brief, right? I'm going to go in and take a look at what I can do. Probably won't hire workers this go around. Probably will just look into staff, because I believe that's where I may run into some problems. I don't know that the core database that this game starts with in terms of staff, like referees and production guys and road agents and stuff, I don't know that they have any like backyard level guys. Because like if I basically tried to go hire Earl Hebner away from WWF, which it was at this point. If I tried to, or maybe it was still WWE, or changed over already. But if I tried to do that, Earl Hebner is like, I'm not going to leave, WWE for your backyard wrestling league. Sorry. So, oh, we don't have any extreme mail. Oh, that's right, because this is not technically the first day of simulation yet. Simulation suit. So, what I'm going to need to do right now is, let's go to, yes, meeting. Let's hold a meeting with our personal assistant, Sophie, who I believe is the only one that they actually give an image to. And there's your personal assistant, Sophie. Is she wearing clothes? We don't know. The market's quite strong at the moment, 67% of its peak. We need to assign a head booker to the development camp. We need to assign a trainer to the training camp. We have no workers. Have to hire writers, have to hire production, have to hire medics, have to hire a referee. Given our size, I think we can get staff of 20 skill or below. We are not big enough to run house shows. So, we need to get writers, we need to get production, we need to get medic, we need to get ref. We might be able to get away with one of each, but we need to hire some wrestlers. We need to do all that stuff. I guess I didn't realize that I had started the game with a development camp and training camp. Well, let's go back anyways. Let's look at staff. Right, this is the R staff. Other staff. let's change our search criteria. Let's drag maximum talent here down to, well, okay, we can go up to 20. And let's not include staff who work for other promotions. Well, let's include staff who work for other promotions. Why not? We'll see what's going on. And then we go back. Okay, so we could hire this road agent. We could hire a trainer. We could hire a ref, except the ref already has a contract. Trainer, announcer, wow. They're not very nice to these guys. Davy Laurent as a production. Don Criddle. So wait, we could get some people here. You're right, as a trainer. Katie Warrior. Alright, so Katie Warrior is a alright, Larry Loeb. Laughing Larry. Lucy Hendricks is a writer. So let's go back to search criteria. And let's bring the wage cap down, because obviously we can't pay anybody $100,000. Can we pay anybody $5,000? Okay. We could get... Alright, let's actually just narrow this down to positions. We need refs. Let's go back. Beautiful Bruce has a verbal contract with ECCW. Beautiful Bruce apologizes, but he does not wish to negotiate while working for another company. Alright, so what if we raise the wage cap all the way back to 100 grand? Not that we could do it, but back. Now, Beautiful Bruce is the only ref that would be willing to work for us. So we're in kind of a problem there. I need to add at least one referee into the simulation for this to work. Production staff. Let's go back. Who are the most talented production people that we could possibly get? Tommy Cuthill or Eddie Thunders? No, not Eddie Thunders. Homer Tanner here. How much do you want, Homer? 2 years at a verbal contract? What if I got you on a written contract for $4 grand a month? I don't want a written contract. Well, what if I gave it to you for $5 grand? I don't want a written contract. Okay. What if I gave you the verbal contract, but you're only getting paid $4 grand a month? Not offering you enough money. Not a lot of wiggle room with this guy, huh? Well, okay, so he will take that standard thing. What about Tony Cuthill here? He wants a verbal contract for $5 grand as well. Is he more desperate? Nope. And I'm gonna guess he doesn't want a written contract. Alright. Let's see, he's 27. Alright. We'll offer you what it is that you want. Fine. Okay, so let's see. We needed a ref. We need a production guy. We need medics. Don Criddle is a pretty experienced medic. Both of these guys are strong at what they do. He only wants a year contract for a verbal. Look. 3 years verbal contract for $5 grand. What about 4? Not offering him nothing. Alright. Pretty much nobody's going to work for less than $5 grand. There are possibly some exceptions, but alright, so we have a medic. We have a production person. We need a writer. Let's go back. Katie Warrior. Ronald Farrell. Alright. Looks like Larry Loeb is the best writer we can manage to work with right now. He wants a 1-year verbal contract. I guess when they get older, they want to have the option to retire. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, let's get into contract negotiations here. Roland Farrell. Yeah, not going to fight over $1,000 a month. So, now that we've done that, let's go hold a meeting. Talk to Sophie. Need to hire a referee. So, the industry is at 67% of its peak. Tell you what, well, it thought I looked at that again. All right, let's go back. I am going to where do I save? Quit. Sure you want to quit? No. Options. No. Go with a vulture. I'm not going to quit and form my own promotion. I already did that. I think it saves after everything that you do. Either way, this won't be very hard to go back and reproduce. But, so, we're going to go into the file editor here, folks. We are going to have to make a referee out of whole cloth. So, let's go into the staff. So, we're going to have to make a new person. These are the things that you would need to provide: a name, a gender, a birth month, or we could leave it unknown, age. Obviously, you're not going to have an employer or a contract. You would need the position of, you'd need the position of referee, and your wage and talent. So, your talent will need to be something beneath 20 for me to be able to actually get you. So, yeah. I guess maybe the first person who chimes in and says, oh, I want to be a referee, I will probably go ahead and let that person be a referee. Give yourself a name that you want to be in the game, and you'll be a referee. Bear in mind, probably won't be a referee forever. I'll either run out of money very quickly and have to close, or I will grow the federation and eventually not have time for very low talent referees. Either way, though, that's probably more than enough for our first episode here. Let me go back, and blank names are not allowed. Well, crud. The record is invalid and will be removed. Yes, let's remove that record. Let's go to promotions and look at Vulture Championship Wrestling. Oh. What I should have done here was say that we don't have a development territory and we don't have a training camp. Because at this point, we don't have those things. I would imagine, anyways. So what I may end up doing here is saving these changes, going ahead and starting another game, trying to go back and basically best replicate what it is that we've done so far. I'm going to go ahead and post this before I do anything else, and let people look at it and be like, oh, hey, I wanted to do it, and that'll be what's going on, folks. So stay tuned for that. Next time, it's going to be a long video where I look at all of the workers who are willing to work for me as cheaply as possible. This is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.